Hello and welcome. My name is Angelique, and today I'm talking about the astrology placement, Venus in Leo. So, this talk is going to be about how this placement, Venus in Leo, finds pleasure, especially in love, money, and beauty. So, if it's your first time listening to me, I've been a student of astrology for over 30 years, and I have a background in counseling, psychology, and mental health. So, I love diving deep, just imagining a raccoon in a trash for knowledge. I love doing it, uncovering patterns, behaviors, emotions, and astrology is a great tool to use that for. It's not just prediction, but it can help us kind of become aware of what's going on with us, what we're attracted to, what we like, what are obstacles for us, and to kind of help find some practical ways to bring balance in our life to have a more harmonious or fulfilling life. So that's my spiel on astrology, and I take it from the heavens and the mythology and symbolism, and then I ground it and find some practical ways that we can navigate through it. So, starting with Venus in Leo, we're going to look at the mythology a little bit. Very briefly, Venus was the goddess of love and beauty, but also pleasure in mythology. And one of the ways that she acquired things was not in a forceful way. It was in a more intuitive, receptive, patient way. So think of somebody who makes themselves beautiful and attractive, knowing that they are going to attract the partner they want, as opposed to someone who might go out and start talking to people, asking people out dates to find the person. So it's a different energy. So keeping that in mind, because we're talking about Leo here as it relates to mythology, which is an opposite energy. And that's because the ruling god of Leo is Sol, I think, is the Roman god Sol. That's the god of the sun. And that's what Leo's ruling planet is, the sun. So you have this very driven, forceful energy paired with this Venus more receptive energy. So it can get kind of challenging because in mythology, Saul was somebody who wanted to be a leader and wanted that respect and admiration. So just like the sun, how we are naturally drawn to the sun as beings on this planet, we seek out the sun, we are drawn to it. It's something that it really connects us. And so symbolically, Soul wanted that as well. He wanted people to be drawn to him. He wanted humans to admire him, to really want him around. And so when we take that into this placement and personify it, we get somebody who derives a lot of pleasure from being admired, from being respected, from being a leader, which can definitely have its ups and downs. It can be a placement that can create challenges for the person until they're able to take a step back and be more mindful, because this energy of the sun god soul in mythology has a very fiery element to it that is the the energy we ascribe to it. So there can be an impulsiveness, there can be doing things without thinking them through. So that's going to affect love, money, beauty, and pleasure of the person who has this placement. So they can maybe acquire all those things really easily, but holding on to them could be a challenge. There are some reasons why this can be a challenge in placement to not only acquire love, money, beauty, and pleasure, but to hold on to it to make it last, is because of the different elements we have here. So, as I said before, Leo is fire, and Venus has air, but also earth. So um, these are elements that are going to be more at odds, and they're going to be even more disruptive. They're not going to have a natural flow to each other. And that's because water has a very dampening effect on fire. It puts it out very easily, very quickly. And then earth, fire can be very damaging to earth. It can be very disruptive, burning through like homes, road, anything. Is just going to lead to a lot of destruction. It's hard to contain. So when we have all of these elements together in Venus and Leo placement, what this can look like is somebody who either has difficulty getting something off the ground. So, uh, a love relationship, money, a project that can bring in money, or just like a beauty or harmonious atmosphere. They might have difficulty getting something off the ground because of just follow through, or they didn't wait long enough to plan or see if something would be a right fit. You have that impulsive quality with the fire. But this can also look like somebody who, because of their passion and their sensitivity to needing to be respected and admired and given attention to, they can burn down something that maybe they had built solidly. So a relationship, a job that garnered them uh, financial stability, maybe a relationship that was harmonious. They can burn that through in an instant, relating to how they feel, their passions. Because this Leo is a very sensitive sign, even though it has this young masculine energy to it. It is heart centered. So even though there's a directness and a need to lead and a need to be at the top, because of that heart centered quality here, because Leo represents this youthfulness, a young child. So think of a young child that is trying to get the attention of their parents, or trying to be a leader in the classroom and do a good job with a role, but maybe they're being ignored or being made fun of. That can be very, very hurtful, which can lead to lashing out. It can lead to trying to be destructive or aggressive to the person or the people that are maybe ignoring them or hurting their feelings. So that's what also can make it a challenging aspect, is that the slightest perceived notion for someone who has this placement, if they're not aware that they have this uh, sensitivity, they could ruin relationships, job opportunities, money opportunities, anything like that, based on if they perceive that they are not getting the attention or the respect that they deserve. As I said, this depends. So some people with displacement are a little more aware, or they have other aspects of the natal chart where this doesn't happen as much, but that tendency is always there just because of the energy of this placement. It's not going to feel Leo is not going to feel totally at home here, because it just wants to uh it wants to be bold and bright and take things by force, sometimes be very demanding. But Venus doesn't like that. Venus wants to kind of be more charming or come about things in a different way, a roundabout way or a slower way to get what it wants. It doesn't want to be direct and harsh and this assertive quality all the time. So when it's Venus and Leo, there's somebody who they can be very gregarious. This can be someone who is great at dating, at flirting, at making friends, at just being a very exciting romantic partner. This is somebody who it can be hard for someone to take their eyes off of. So that this is somebody who becomes very magnetic in the realm of love or money or beauty. So these are your entertainers. These are people that can easily become famous or work with famous people, or just become very notable. These are the people that um, have their charm is magnetic. So they can become really well known or famous for their big heart, or um, how entertaining they are, how fun they are, how childlike, how giving they are. These are that people, the sun is going to kind of draw other people in wherever it is in a spot. So anything revolving around love, money, or beauty can really draw other people to them. So, like I said, like getting these things for someone with Venus and Leo can come easier to most and almost in a very quick way, but it's holding on to it that could be more challenging. So, when it comes to love, someone with Venus and Leo, they might really have a great time in a lusting relationship with somebody who it understands and enjoys their need for fun. So someone who's maybe more of a wet blanket, or maybe overly serious, or is only focused on routines and doing things in a measured way, might be a challenging relationship to endure. So Venus and Leo is going to love loudly and want someone that loves loudly back. So either they are somebody, they meet someone that can keep pace with them in their high energy level, or they're somebody who loves to let Venus and Leo take the show, be a leader, but they're going to find true partnership with somebody else who also loves to have fun, loves to be entertaining, doesn't take life too seriously, has a more youthful energy or quality to them. So maybe they sing together, they act together, uh, they express themselves boldly to each other. That is something also that is going to um, keep Venus and Leo engaged in a love relationship a long time. Is this person boldly expressing their affection to them easily and often? Because Venus and Leo, yes, they love to have that admiration, that love, but they are somebody who is going to do that themselves. These are the people that might scream their love for somebody on the rooftops. They might be very into public displays of affection. And so, someone else who is maybe more reserved or shy publicly, or even intimately, somebody who maybe doesn't show all their cards, this can be a trickier situation. They also might really love a partner who just has like a more bold quality to their appearance. So maybe this person that's in a relationship with Venus and Leo has something dramatic about the personality. Usually I'm thinking hair, lion. Leo is associated with a lion in the main. So maybe they're really attracted to this person's hair. Maybe have very bold or dramatic hair, or maybe the hair is golden or blonde, or has reddish or orange undertones. Um, but there's something that really is eye catching about their person, or they just have a really charming, effervescent, energetic, youthful energy. Is could make a really good partner for Venus and Leo. Also, having a relationship where people are very supportive of what you are doing, especially if it's in a public setting, is going to really endure the relationship. So if someone with Venus and Leo, maybe they play sports, they are going to really fall deeper in love with the person who maybe goes to the events and is loudly cheering and is very exciting. The person who's skipping things that they're doing or doesn't seem to be as outwardly excited or interested can be more of a challenge. And speaking of challenges, Venus and Leo can be very demanding when it comes to love because of their need to be number one, to be a leader, to be admired and respected. So, in a love relationship, that can create an imbalance, which a lot of people don't want to feel like they are second banana in a relationship. They don't want to feel like an audience member. And it might not be the Venus and Leo person's intent, but if they're unaware of how to make a partnership more balanced, to, understand that this person can't revolve around them 100% of the time, that's going to be easier. But if they're unaware of their insatiable need for attention, it can drive people away. So that is just something to be mindful of. When it comes to money, like I said previously, Venus Leo can attract money very easily just because of that impulsive, quick, passionate energy here. So they might get very excited about things really quickly. So maybe they're able to jump into something really quickly and figure it out. There's a quickness and a wit that comes with Leo because of how the leadership qualities. It's a natural teacher energy. So they're going to be able to learn how to make money very quickly. So maybe it's a business idea. Maybe it's figuring out how to do a job quickly, especially if it's a job where they're on the stage or a spotlight, or they're a teacher or a leader in some way. They can get this really quickly. But the detriment here is that if they're unaware of how they come off, how demanding they might be, especially if they need to be respected and heard in a job or on a team with other people, that could negatively impact their money, and there could be job loss that comes on more subtly with this placement. So that is just something to be aware of. But any work that involves young children, kids, so like teaching or anything dramatic or in the entertainment realm, anything that has risk too. So this could be sales or anything that like commission based work, anything where there's kind of this risk associated where you don't know what's going to happen day to day. They could really thrive and make a lot of money. Or not even in a job aspect. These are people that can make some gains when it comes to gambling or anything that involves a risk, because this is kind of where they live. But the saving can be kind of a challenge too for this placement, as they might want to spend their money on things that they want to feel beautiful, have a very dramatic life, whether that's an appearance or their home. And so money can go pretty quickly as they really, the pleasure comes from this placement when they are acquiring money and using it to lavish themselves or other things they care about. And because Leo has such a big heart, they might be spending it a lot more on things. And then when it comes to beauty for Venus and Leo, the beauty can extend from their person to the home environment or workplace. So they might really enjoy a workplace that is live and action oriented or entertaining. So these are the people that might work in like a school setting with really young kids because there's a lot of activity happening. Or they might work in the theater, the arts, touring, entertainment, even live sports. So that could be something that they're very interested in. That feels it's an atmosphere that is harmonious. These are the people that might feel more uncomfortable in like a stuffy, quiet office environment, like a 9 to 5. Like there needs to be something exciting or entertaining about it, and especially if there's what is going to feel pleasing to them is having the spotlight on them. So their appearance is going to be maybe more bold or dramatic or just eye-catching. So their hair, they could have really long hair or it could be bigger, just like very noticeable. Something about their appearance, and it doesn't have to be a certain color, but I'm just thinking orange, orange or yellow because that is closely associated with the sun, but it could be that they just have a very dramatic style, or it's a very youthful aesthetic. These are people who might really enjoy things from their childhood, having in their their place, their home, or anything that's useful. So these are people who they might have more fun things to do in their home, or things that are maybe more useful. So like games, video games, these might be people that like doing that and they derive a lot of pleasure from that. All right, and that's what I have for Venus and Leo. If you have this placement and you like to share how that comes up for you, it'd be awesome to hear. You can leave a comment. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much for listening. Bye bye.